Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Untapped Podcast. My name is Jacob Gable.
And my name is Jacob Words. Guys, welcome to episode 205. If this is your first time joining us, first of all, thank you. We are thrilled to have you here with us. We actually have 5 main formats of our show. So first, we have 1442 episodes. Now, in these episodes, we cover the mental side of our brand, where we go over our anecdotal experiences with things like mindset and mentality. We then pass on tips and advice to you guys to then apply to your own lives. Next, we have physical vitality episodes. Now, in these episodes, we cover the physical side of our brand. So in these ones, we really get to showcase our expertise because you have 2 certified personal trainers here. So we get to really showcase what we are all about. In those ones, we go over everything that we offer through our Untapped training, which is powered by the First Form Performance platform. In addition to that, we go over everything to do with the gym, workouts, diet, nutrition, supplements, intent. And at times, we will take trending articles or topics within the fitness industry and give our thoughts and opinions on those. Now, guys, just keep in mind, these physical vitality episodes are full of free game, so make sure you pay attention.
Nice work, bro. All right, on to our third format, guys. That is our breaking news format. It is a current event-based format. We touch on current events, current articles going on in today's world. Now, keep in mind, a lot of the content around current events is very doom and gloom. We offer the solution-based aspect to those events. Our fourth format is our Knights Table format. It is a masculinity-based format. Masculinity is a massive deal to us here at Untapped. We host men's workouts for that reason. We had one this morning when we were recording, actually, and the 2 guests we're about to introduce were also attendees of that. We'll talk about that as well. But men's workouts, keep in mind with the men's content in general, we are not perfect men. The only perfect man to ever walk this earth is Jesus Christ. Now, on to our 5th format. That is our guest format. We sit down with entrepreneurs, fitness professionals, athletes, doctors, anybody with a great story or somebody who brings you value of some sort. We learn a lot from these episodes. You in turn will also learn a lot, and that is what we have for you today of the formats. Now, our final thing to introduce before the main content of the episode is our producer, not our producer because we don't have a camera on him actually, because we have a little surprise that is very similar to episode 200 as well,
right.
Style-wise.
Right.
So anyways.
Yeah, Mitch, you're silent again today. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, shut up today, Mitchell. Yeah.
Well, yeah, as Gable just mentioned, guys, episode 205 here, very similar to episode 200 in the fact that we have 2 guests with us from Vosus Nutrition, Eli Sommermeyer and Braden Brown. What's up, boys?
What's up, guys?
How we doing?
Let's go, gentlemen. Let's
Good
get
to
it,
have you
baby.
boys on.
Let's go.
Look at this.
sir.
We're all repping the brands too
Bro,
here.
seriously.
Man, we look good.
Polos, yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting to get on this podcast. I've been watching it for a while, and you guys are awesome.
Dude, I'm excited.
Appreciate that, boys.
Dude, that hypes me up
Appreciate
right
that,
there.
boys.
That hypes me
Yeah,
up big
right?
time right there.
You know, see, they did their polos a little bit better, though. They're a little more form-fitting.
Oh, 100%.
So
They're nice and
they're looking
fit.
a little jacked over there.
Or are they just more jacked than we are?
I don't know about that.
That might be a
I don't know,
conversation
man. I
that
don't know
we
We
have
need
to
to have a competition here.
You
Vosus
guys
versus
got a
Untapped.
few years on us. but-
Yeah. It's like we can go through every style
Hold
of
on.
fitness.
Did they just call us old?
No, I
3
know.
minutes
Training
in?
longer. You've been training
That's
longer.
crazy.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
That's it. Episode's
You
over.
got that muscle maturity. you know?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I mean, I
a
guess
better way
that's
to
a
say
good
it.
thing, right? Is that a good
these
thing?
guys. These guys. So that's how it's going to be.
We're going to get kicked off the pod.
Anybody under 20 and they're like, oh yeah, these guys are old as hell. And it's
Yeah,
like,
right,
damn it.
right.
Again, I'm a dad, you know what I mean? So it's like that kind of ruins my case for not being young, but it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
So, boys, to start off here, just kind of introduce, both of you go separate here, but introduce yourselves, how old you are, how you guys, kind of found each other and what you're doing right now, and then we'll hop in.
Okay. My name is Braden Brown. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Fenton here in St. Louis, Missouri. And I started Vosus Nutrition with Eli. My passion, I've always loved fitness and just supplements, how they affect the body, how they allow you to grow and feel different than you normally do. So I'm just really interested and love the space. And I've loved it since, 14, 15 years old. And that's allowed me to, create this with Eli. So
Yeah. I'm Eli. I just turned 19 years old, and I grew up in Ankara, Turkey, and then later moved to the U.S., and I've been living here since. But, yeah, kind of similar to him. I grew up being an athlete. Not a very good one, but, an athlete.
same.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
I really started to get in the gym when I was around 14 or 15. I had some friends who started to get in the gym, and I'm like, I want to try this out. I want to get jacked, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I kind of looked up to some people who also were, into the gym. So those were the types of people I wanted to be like. And, ended up using some supplements from other brands, and thought this would be a cool thing to try out. And it's kind of where we got our inspiration from.
It's dope, boys.
So
Yeah.
how long has Vosus been around?
Oh, it's been around for 3 years. We just hit our 3-year mark.
Mhm.
Hell yeah, dude.
Insane.
so-
Back in April.
Yeah.
Is that awesome? It's a good
Yeah,
feeling,
it's so
man.
cool.
It's a
Yeah.
good feeling.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
remember when we were first starting it out, it was around March in 2023, and it was the Columbus, Ohio Arnold Classic, and
Okay.
I remember going there for the first time ever while also developing the business, and I was just like, dang, there's so much to
Mhm.
this industry,
Mhm.
and that was also another great inspiration to just see all these huge brands, huge athletes, people I see online, just in person. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome. So then how did you two meet?
World history class, sophomore year. Yeah, sophomore year, high
Let's
school.
go.
Me and him kind of I don't really know what happened, but we kind of realized we both had a passion for business, and we were both athletes. In the past,
Sounds familiar, huh?
yeah.
That's
Could
crazy.
be. Could
That's
be.
crazy.
Intriguing. Yeah.
There was also a lunch table too, in the mornings where we would all just sit
Oh
and eat
yeah,
breakfast
before
and
school.
stuff.
Yeah.
And we would just talk about entrepreneurship,
That's
other
sick.
people we knew
Yeah.
that were just succeeding. Of course, Andy Frisilla, and then later Dom Icavone, Greg Lavecchia, all
Yeah.
them too. So yeah.
Mhm.
Dude,
That's
that's
awesome.
the access you guys have, and especially actually for that matter, again, as we joke, as we're old, of course, but being under 30, the amount of access we have to stuff that shows you that business is even possible
Mhm.
is so cool. So I'm assuming
Mm.
that type of stuff is probably where you guys started having the conversation that young. Because
Oh yeah.
truthfully, both of us were still young enough in high school where I don't think we knew about entrepreneurship as much of an option.
Not at all.
Truthfully,
No.
which is why we started the company at 21, 22.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead. But that is, talk a little bit on that. Where was it just Andy you got into first? Did you guys always have a passion because some of your parents were into entrepreneurship? What did that look like?
I think I wouldn't say I was a natural at it, but I've always had a passion for
Nice.
back when I was 13 and 14, I did a lot of sneaker reselling. There's a big sneaker market, or was.
interesting.
It's not as big now, but I really got into that, and I really enjoyed going out there, finding products to sell, the whole the shipping process, all of that. I just found it pretty fascinating and enjoyable, and it felt very rewarding.
Mhm.
A lot more rewarding than just going to a job, clocking in, making money. Not that that's
course.
wrong, but just for me
Yeah.
personally, it just felt very rewarding to just do and see all the steps that go towards actually from finding a product to selling a product to collecting money. So
That's dope.
yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
100%. I figure we have one life, and I want to just take a moonshot. Honestly, me and him both, we love, we said, we love supplements, we love the fitness industry, and just being able to not work for someone, but create something of your own,
Mhm.
and something that you truly believe in, and the fact that you can live it and make
Mhm.
it and put it into a bottle and push it to people and allow them to grow. I think that's really cool.
Mhm.
And that inspired me a lot too, as well as, of course, First Form being very close to us. They're pretty big inspiration, seeing all the cars Andy has, because I'm a car
course.
guy too. So
Mhm.
of course money's part of it, but and the financial freedom goal aspect is really cool.
Sure.
But mainly we get most of our joy and our inspiration in the beginning was just from trying to inspire people and do our own take at the fitness industry. So yeah.
Well, and
Dude,
I
it's
think you guys
awesome.
are doing a great job of that because you both hold a very sincere passion
Mhm.
for what you're doing as well.
Absolutely.
Which is what matters because that's what gets people to not only buy your products, but connect with the brand. And that's the overall idea, I would assume, is creating the brand, not just creating products. You know what I
1000%,
mean?
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and that's what we're doing here, obviously, with Untapped in our own ways. But you both bring a very sincere passion. I think that's very inspiring. Even to us, again, we're older than you guys. We're a little bit further down the road, but not really. That doesn't mean we
100%.
can't learn from each other. And so keep that. Keep that fire, keep that passion, keep the excitement, and the sincerity that comes with that because it's very cool to watch, especially you guys being at such a young age. And you would have started this at 16 years old?
15, yeah.
So 15. So you're doing this in
Insane.
high school, which is crazy. So on that note, when did the first product come to fruition then?
It was, I think it was September of 2023. September of 2023 was whenever we first dropped our, we made it ourselves. It was the Ice Pop Pro V2. That was kind of the start of the main Vosus brand that we carry on today. We had before in March of 2023 when we were kind of developing it, we we released like a drop shipping kind of store. And, you know, it was an easy way to start off with not a lot of money and stuff. Of course, both of us being 15, we were just working our jobs that we could get and stuff like that. And, you know, we basically made that happen for a little bit. And then we just realized, okay, well, this is not quality supplements. It's not something we stand for. And we're like, we lost the whole plot. We lost the point of what we, like our whole goal.
It's very money focused for sure.
With that first product.
Yeah.
It was easy, hands off. You didn't have to do a lot, you know, and it just didn't feel like I was like living the brand, you know?
Yeah.
It kind of helped us though realize like how hard it was going to be. You know, this isn't going to be easy. We, when we first started drawing up the ideas of, you know, the brand name, the products and things like that, and had our initial line of, you know, mid supplements, you know, we expected to start making sales right off the bat, but it was very, very humbling when, you know, we got orders from maybe some close family members or a couple friends. And, you know, it was like, man, this is going to take a lot of work, but you know, it was definitely a good learning experience and just helped us start out and, just get, I guess, an idea of the brand and what we wanted to do.
Yeah. And from that learning experience, we saw, hey, you know, we bought the 48 units of our first ever, you know, Pro V2 Ice Pop, and then that sold out really quick. And we're like, okay, now we put the work in, we made a brand, we pushed something that we actually believe in, something that tastes good, is quality, and then it actually got noticed and picked up locally. So
Awesome.
Yeah, we would come to school with like a separate backpack. Like I would have my main backpack with all my books and my laptop and stuff like that. But then I'd have like an extra backpack filled with 10 of those Ice Pop pre-workouts. And I'd start posting on my Snapchat story. Like we have a screenshot of it actually. I'd post on my Snapchat story, be like, hey, hit me up. I have this pre-workout that I created. Brayden would do the same thing. And people would literally come from other classes, like to my class, and I'd meet them in the hall. Like it's kind of like a drug deal.
The pre-dealer, 100%.
Yeah,
the pre-dealer, absolutely.
But at
dude.
first we were worried, so.
Yeah, I know. The principal actually talked to us about it. I don't know if you remember that, but we have like 4 principals at our school, but one of them talked to me about it, and you know, instead of getting us in trouble, thought it was really cool. And
was he like, yeah, this shit is gas, dude? That's what he said.
he didn't try. We have some teachers who still order.
Let's go.
Love our
Really?
stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We actually have a flag in one, like the entrepreneurship teachers room right now.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Shout out Mr. Hilpert.
Yeah.
Where did the name come from?
Vosus was it was like through Google Translate, and we kind of threw a bunch of words that aligned with us, like what we aligned with the brand, like strength, like just power, words like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the words, like I think a lot of it was Latin.
Yeah, it was
like,
translated to Latin.
Yeah.
And I think it came out as like Vosustis, one of the words did, and we kind of shortened it to Vosus. But had a ring to it, you know?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Whenever we were trying to originally come up with brand names, we were using the early model of ChatGPT, and it was giving us stuff that, I don't know, kind of sounded corny, like Phantom Fitness or, you know, stuff like that. But I think, you know, I think the brand name we have is cool, and I think it has meaning behind it and has story behind it. Like I remember the exact table, the lunch table we were sitting at. You know, while everyone was eating lunch, we would multitask and we'd have our laptops open and our lunch here. And I remember the exact like moment we came up with the name. So
that's very.
By the way, kids hated it. They were making fun of us all. Like they thought we were just full of ourselves, performative. They didn't think we were gonna go anywhere with it. We were just inspired for a minute. But,
yeah.
Talk about the hater piece there a little bit then. Yeah.
So the hater piece was pretty big part of the journey, because it kind of like got us a little insecure in the beginning, because you know, you're 15 years old, you're in high school, still very new to life, and you're already like dealing with the high school insecurities. So whenever you start a business, stuff like that, like that also comes with it. So like people would be just talking behind our backs. I'd hear from, you know, friends too. They're just like they would like genuinely like sit with me and they're like, do you think this is actually going to work out, dude? Like, and I was just like, yes, like I believe in this. Like, because it's what I wanted to do.
I don't think it was as much of like a hater thing at first. I think it was more of just like no one believed in us, you know?
An
no one believed
thing
that
for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like at our age with very little capital, they didn't think we could, you know, create what we have. So
exactly.
I think it was more of, not just them not believing in us. So
I think the interesting thing about these two, and Wirtz, you'll probably agree with this as well. You guys both, you were talking about the passion they had. It's the brand passion is very noticeable. Like it's very easy to pick up on from both you guys when you interact with you guys. So it's not like falsified passion, if that makes sense. Like,
No.
you know, people see your post on social media now, and you know the editing looks sick and all this stuff that comes along with it. Blah blah blah. The products are also great for that matter as well. The Baja Boss pre-fire,
Appreciate it.
but so you see that, but then that also translates. I feel like since you guys in person, you can meet you guys and be like, okay, these guys care and these guys actually want to grow this thing. But then when I tried the pre, I was like, okay, like these are two young guys. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this pre is. Like I feel like it's probably gonna be good because everybody's talked really highly about it. Okay, and it was phenomenal, and it is phenomenal for that matter. So I'm like, okay, that to me also indicates if your product's that good, then that also is like, that means you guys are serious about this too. So when did that first iteration, when you guys were like, okay, let's really make a great product here? Because you were talking about your mid pre's, you know, at first.
Yeah.
When were you like, oh, this is a really good pre? Like when did
that
happen?
first ice pop, our first launch, we were like, it was when we were sampling it. We got about 4 samples in, which actually were the 3 Pro V2s plus another flavor that we have right now. And we tried those in Braden's kitchen. We have it all on film. But like, you know, we were both genuinely just like, these are so good flavor wise. And then we worked out with them. They were great, really smooth. And I just, you know, it had me really excited because I was like, dang, this is genuinely really good compared to what we had in the past.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, you know, we were hyping it up because it's our thing, but
Of course.
it's not something we like to stand behind. That's why we got rid of it, you know, pretty quickly because we want something we can stand behind. And yeah.
So let's dive into that a little bit more. Like, what do you guys believe makes a good pre-workout, ingredients wise, dosage wise? Let's dive into that.
I would say like in a pre-workout, if you want to get like specifics, I would go like, of course, like at least 6,000 on L-citrulline, you know, 250, you know, caffeine. I could go deep into that, but like the majority of it is like, what are your goals? You know, so like for our like brand and our community, like a lot of the kids are just like us, which is awesome. Like it being the like consumer of your, you know, product is really cool. So you get to really like experience it and see what people actually want. And so like with our products, like it was smooth, it tasted great, it was affordable. We wanted to make it affordable for, you know, people because we were selling to high school students, people who are also playing sports.
Sure.
And they had a minimum wage job just like us. You know, it's high school.
Yeah,
So no one's really making like a ton of money. So that it aligned with us and like our pre-workout that we finally made was that like we knew that was the one. Like whenever we tried it. So and we knew it was a good pre-workout because the one before, you like I can show it to you guys. Like our label was so long and complex before, it was horrible, and it had like 125 like milligrams of caffeine in a scoop.
Yeah,
it was
more
so
of like a
bad.
multivitamin. It had all the vitamin D, vitamin C, all that.
Yeah,
so
it was. Yeah,
I
it was
thought
bad.
maybe it was like one of those proprietary blends or something like that you see in the
Dude,
supplement
that's
industry.
even
or
I
whatever.
think it probably had a
Suspect.
proprietary blend in it.
Suspect.
I know.
It had a matrix up in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say when talking about what makes a good pre-workout, it's not a one size fits all thing, you know. There's many different pre-workouts out there and you know, there's quite a bit of differentiation between them. Like, you know, what we offer currently is we have a mid-stim, we call it our daily driver because it's just a very good like essential formula for an everyday lifter who needs a little bit of caffeine to get them through the workout and get them energized. So at 250, it's got pump ingredients, it's got focus ingredients, got a little electrolyte formula. So it's just a very well-rounded thing, you know. Then we also have for, you know, the more, I guess, just, I wouldn't, for the stim junkies, you know, we have our high stim. Yeah. That one's going to have 4 different stimulants at 602 milligrams. It's going to have a lot of different, or it's going to have 2 different pump ingredients that punch a lot of, you know, pack a lot of punch. I mean, it's going to have a lot of beta alanine. It's going to get that tingle and, you know, those endurance effects. But then, you know, some people, which is something we're working on, like no caffeine in their pre-workout. You know, they work out late at night. They don't want to stay up all night. They have work early in the morning. That's something we're actually working on right now. It might be a while because the process of getting like, you know, a product, just the idea to actually having the product, it takes a while and a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of stress. So, but yeah.
And that's actually, I was curious about that process. So we can dive into that a little bit more if you want.
Yeah.
Like taking the idea to the finished product, like what goes into everything in between, you know, sampling different ingredients, the combinations of different ingredients. Where do you guys go for that type of stuff? Like dive into all that.
So we, you know, we're not supplement geniuses by any means. But we have been blessed enough to talk to a lot of people who are very, very smart. And they've passed down a lot of knowledge to me and Braden over the years. One of the guys being Conlon James, Sammy Stoll. They're big supplement guys in the industry. So I guess formulating the product, we take a lot of different people's ideas and our own ideas, kind of put that into one thing, and then bounce it back off of those people and get their opinions on it. And they say, oh, do this, change this, up this, down, decrease this.
Nice.
And then
The cool thing with it, it's like a community effort was like our
seriously.
kind of goal with it. Like we have like workouts with like athletes whenever we're releasing a new product. We'll like give them the product before the lift and all work out together and also film content and stuff like that. But also allows them to try it out, experience it. And, we get to figure out what does the community really want. So
yeah. And then I guess the production process is honestly, I would say, the most stressful because,
Believe that.
we are talking with people who are part of massive companies who are manufacturing for a whole bunch of different brands. And it gets very serious, and if, you have to use very just like polite language and things like that when you're, talking back and forth with them. You have to be very technical about things. You have to be really nitpicky about things because, if there's a little bit of miscommunication, stuff can get screwed up. And,
100%.
100%. Just the whole process, it has a lot of ups and downs and a lot of roadblocks and things like that. When we first sampled our formula, that was the most, I guess, I'd say stressful process of creating any product we have.
For sure.
Yeah.
We were really new to it too. So we had like no clue like what to look out for, anything like that. We didn't know like any of the fees that were included, lab testing stuff, third party, all that sort of thing. So we had no clue what was, going to come in front of us. So, but we continued to kind of work through it, and we finally got like our first shipment in, and it went crazy. It went crazy. It was awesome. But yeah, the whole production process itself can definitely be a headache. But I feel like as we've grown as like, business owners and stuff like that, we've gotten a lot smoother with it and stuff like that. And then you can also, the cool thing with it, you can build relationships, and then you can kind of start to get in a routine to where you're just like, okay, the person you're talking to, you have a great relationship with your manufacturer, and things go a lot more smooth. But that first one, like you were saying, it was rough.
Yeah,
So-
we had to do a resampling too because we got it in. We had a whole bunch of glycerol, which there's reasons why we took it out because it's not the most effective ingredient in powdered form.
Sure.
But it made the taste absolutely terrible. Like,
Yep.
we sampled our Baja flavor, we sampled a pink lemonade, and a what else did we sample? Blue Raz, I think. Yeah, Blue Raz. And we sampled these. First of all, it was a really big scoop, but it wasn't very like mixable. Like we had to mix it with an entire shaker bottle full of water instead of your usual like 8 to 12 ounces like we do now.
It was like protein scoop.
It was
weird.
Yeah.
but
It's the downfall of glycerol.
Dude,
'cause it doesn't
seriously,
mix
I was
either.
just saying.
it doesn't.
You
Yeah,
know?
but it was the chalkiest thing ever.
Yeah.
And there were just, we wanted to pack this thing and make it, just add whatever we wanted in there to make it the craziest thing ever. But sometimes simple or less is more. Like we took out glycerol, we took out this beetroot powder and things like that because, we did more research into it and realized that some of the ingredients weren't doing as much as we thought they would
Right.
and are just negatively affecting the taste and stuff.
That's a big part of our brand is the less is more. Like we're really simplistic, and that's what makes a great supplement, and that's what we stand for.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these brands out here, they're so complex. They have filler ingredients, they have proprietary blends, not transparent labels. So like that's our main thing is like simple ingredient, like
Simple but
supplements.
effective.
Simple but
Yeah.
effective, and with simplicity in a formula, you get great taste out of that.
Yeah.
and you don't feel
Yes.
full. You
Right.
don't feel like crap. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and it's not putting you in the bathroom after the fact either. You
Oh
know what
my
I mean?
gosh,
Which
yeah.
like we've all
100%.
tried supplements like that.
100%.
You drink it and 15 minutes later, it's a Code Brown situation.
Code Brown.
exactly.
Or you have anxiety out the roof the rest
Well,
of the
that-
day too.
that's-
That is a
yeah. Oh my
possibility
goodness.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I took pre-workout, I was at like this little small gym in Eureka.
Connie's.
Yeah, Connie's.
No
It's
shit.
called-
You guys know.
yeah.
These guys know ball.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Unbelievable.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
the
actually-
OG spot right
That's
there.
where we did our first photo shoot ever.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
swear.
That
That's
was
crazy.
Yeah, Connie's is the spot. It's right by my dad's house in Eureka.
No kidding.
Up on the hill there.
Yeah.
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 That place is great.
I know. But either way, so we went there, and it was me and my brother. We were just, I think we were going into high school, and I had it was the like most famous pre at the time. It was the Rise Kool-Aid one.
Classic.
That was
Yep,
blowing
of course.
up, you know. And I just took a scoop of that with my brother for the first time ever. Didn't know what to expect, and it that's what changed my life, like right there.
You
Because-
felt like your eyeballs were open the entire workout.
It
You
was
couldn't
insane.
blink
No one
the
talks
entire
about
workout.
that, but like they don't talk about
That's
that.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, like the first time you take pre-workout is insane.
Oh,
It is.
my
Like
goodness.
I hit like 2 PRs that night.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I had one of those like OG Bang energy drinks. First time I ever had caffeine,
300
and
is
I
crazy.
drank it way too fast. And literally, I was a lifeguard at the time. I was like 17 or 18 or whatever,
Yeah.
and I thought somebody gave me cocaine or something like that. I was like,
my God.
what is going on right now? I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. What about you?
Oh, my first pre-workout experience, I was in strength training class. No, actually, I take it back. This is a good story. So, I was going into freshman year, and our lacrosse coach at the time he used to be a Marine. So,
Yeah.
and
Oh, no.
whenever we first start out the season, we have about like 2 or 3 weeks of just conditioning.
Just
so
hell. Yep.
no sticks, no helmets, no nothing, just working out. And it was in this was January too, so it was cold. The field had like a thin layer of snow on it.
Yep.
And from Costco, there was this amino energy watermelon flavored pre-workout. And I was like, I'm trying to get hype, I want to kill this conditioning practice. So I take 2 scoops of it, and a full serving is 1. So I took 2 scoops as my first time ever taking pre-workout.
Oh gosh.
I rarely had energy drinks before that. So, but this conditioning practice was hell. Like you guys know what a marine weave is?
Hey, you have to remind me. But
Okay,
yeah.
so it's
Yeah,
it's like about 6 guys run in a line. They jog, but then
Okay.
the person at the back weaves
Of
through
course.
everybody and sprints
Oh.
up
We,
to
we,
it.
we,
You
call
might have
those,
a
we call those Indian runs.
Yeah,
Yep.
Indian runs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
they called it that too sometimes. But
Crazy.
we did it on this massive field. It's called Booter Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were at Booter too? No
Yeah.
way. That's
Every-
where Mitchell and I were at for Eureka. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everywhere you step, there's like a little divot.
Oh, it's
or
horrible.
something.
It's
'Cause it was
terrible.
also
Yeah.
it was like an RC plane area too.
Yep.
And people would crash these planes and leave giant
Oh,
divots.
I remember seeing those things fly. Dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude.
And they leave these giant divots in the ground. So I'm and also I was a little unathletic freshman at the time. And these seniors, they'd run fast. So their jog was like my sprint. So I was just basically full sprinting around this giant field the whole time, rolling my ankle every 3 steps. And then we go into this circle of push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and everything like that. Then we ended it off with another run, and it was a run around this entire field. It was probably probably a 2-mile diameter of this, not diameter. What's the word? Circumference of this field.
There you go.
And
These guys went to high school.
Math guy.
yeah, seriously. Dropped out of college.
I wouldn't have thought of that word that
guy.
quick.
Yeah.
Arithmetic guy.
As I was finishing up this lap, my body had it. I was done, and I just puked up
yeah.
every little bit
Oh, yeah.
of that pre-workout. And yeah, that was my first pre-workout experience.
Underrated thing there, by the way. People don't talk about how if you're doing just directed conditioning work, pre is not always a
Nope.
great option there
Nope.
because of the vasoconstriction aspect of caffeine, especially. And it's if you do it before a lacrosse workout, especially. I mean, lacrosse, the amount of conditioning in that sport is insane, but you will 100% spew at some point in time
dude.
after that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
So, anyways, as we were moving on here a little bit, going back to where we were. So, you guys obviously being in the fitness industry and whatnot, you guys have seen a little bit of the trends and the way it functions at this point in time too. So, where do you want to see the fitness industry go, and how do you guys see your piece? Are you guys playing a part, I should say, in that growth of the fitness industry as well?
Mm-hmm.
How would you like to change?
I would say I'd like to see the fitness industry, of course, get healthier, as the main thing. Because it's always been there's been banned ingredients like DMA, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Proprietary blends are a big one that we don't support. Of course, there's this expensive stuff out there. I think I saw a protein the other day for $70 somewhere online. It's just it's getting up there.
And you're talking for
servings.
25, 30 servings.
Yeah.
Same with pre-workouts,
Yeah.
$60 for 20, and
Yeah, 100%. So I would love to see all those things get worked on, and more brands stop doing proprietary blends. Maybe those go away. We can get full transparent labels.
Yeah.
Most brands. That would be amazing, because me and Eli will go into a Walmart, a Target, and we'll look at some of these labels, a lot of them will be proprietary blends. We're just like,
course.
dude, these guys are billionaires that are buying this product for like $2, selling it
Yeah.
for
100%.
$35, retailing it in Walmart, and
Yeah.
sitting on their ass. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's just crazy how
Yeah.
like some of the industry works.
Yeah.
Well, and what they're doing is they're preying on people who don't know any better.
Seriously,
you know?
yeah.
People who won't go into an S2 and talk to those guys and
Yeah.
genuinely learn about what they may be purchasing and then putting in their body. Instead, they see protein powder. 40 grams of protein in one scoop at Walmart for $30, you
Exactly.
know? And they get it. And it's
Yeah,
like, hey,
they'll see their favorite fitness influencer promote it, and it's
Exactly.
got nice looking labels and things
Right,
like that. And then,
right.
but completely uneducated by
100%. Now, and correct me if I'm wrong, with supplements, the nutrition labels don't actually have to, number one, they don't actually have to be on there, right? And number two, they don't have to be accurate.
They do have to be on there, and they do have to be accurate. But
Okay.
there's a there's
Yeah.
a
What
lot
am
of
I
in-
thinking
in
of then?
quotations,
Because there's
yeah.
something with the labels on supplements that, like, it's not regulated.
well,
Oh.
It's definitely not as regulated.
You're talking about the
Yeah.
industry as a whole, maybe.
Yeah.
yeah. Because like the FDA doesn't regulate the supplement industry.
Maybe that's what it is.
But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
but any good company should have third party testing that comes along
Exactly.
with
Correct.
it as well.
Correct.
Yeah. Of
yeah,
course.
there's a lot of like just you know, they a lot of companies try to get around, you know, the testing and things like that, where like,
Mhm.
you know, they'll I guess talk behind the scenes with these testing companies and maybe change up the results and things like that. There was this big thing, you know, and they're definitely doing a lot better about cracking down on it, but amino spiking in proteins, where
Interesting.
basically there's a certain type of test where if you have, you know, they measure the amount of protein by the, I guess, just the amino acids in there, and they'd put separate amino acids in there to spike it and make it look
Yes.
like there's more protein in there, but to cut costs, basically.
It's basically a
I think that's
falsified
how it
test
works. Yeah.
that happens out of it.
Yeah, there's a
it's
lot
just
of that.
completely-
And you can
yeah.
they can play a game with that, especially if you have a lot of capital. You can do stuff like that and
Oh,
get
yeah.
away with it.
Yeah.
And then have like that, like you said, Braden, the $2, pre-workout or whatever. And then their margins are crazy because of that too,
Yeah.
so they
And-
can make a lot of money.
Yeah, and there's a lot of companies that there's a lot of like people saying there's certain ingredients in products and it's just not in there. There's a lot of that too,
Interesting.
Yeah,
where it's
a
just
lot of the-
straight up lying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
And
like
it's
the
crazy.
the detox or maybe debloat. One of the two.
Yeah,
One of those
yeah.
two names.
Detox.
Both of the like
Sounds right.
Yeah, both of those things. Like a lot of those supplements will have like just straight like laxatives in them, and it's not even like
100%.
it's literally. It's like I forgot the exact word for it, but there's like in almost everyone that I looked up one night because I saw like a video on it. I looked it up, did my research, and like 5 of these brands, like in these little like things they're selling for $40, $30. You know, all they have is just laxatives in them, really.
Yeah.
And it's just
It'll
making
detox you.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll
It's just
detox
like-
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but they're promoting just like a healthier gut and
Right.
promoting like
course.
all this like promoting mood and all this other baloney. It's just like it's just I hate seeing it.
Like a short-term solution for a long-term problem.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to hear the percentage of people that take supplements in the United States, for example, because I would, on this same conversation, I would bet you money that it's way lower than it could be because of stuff like that. Because people, when they think supplements, they think, not FDA regulated. They think it's bullshit. They think it's filled with trash a lot of the times. They think
Steroids.
steroids or something like that.
Yeah.
Because creatine always somehow gets
Oh
mixed
my
in with
God.
that all the
Yeah,
time.
the
Creatine.
I remember my
Yeah,
talks
oh my
with my
gosh.
mom and
Yeah,
dad.
the mom.
Yeah.
They made me like bring a personal trainer over to our house, that one of their friends, and like I have a full talk about me taking creatine. I swear it was.
This
It was insane.
was the birds and the bees for Eli.
No,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah,
with
she would.
creatine. Yeah, both with creatine.
It's mind blowing because I used to train youth athletes.
Yeah.
And trying to talk to parents about creatine is the hardest thing
It's
to do in
insane.
the world. It's like, I promise I'm not telling you to give your kid steroids.
Yeah.
I promise. Like that steak you ate last night has creatine in it.
Yeah.
You're taking creatine, It's
Exactly.
like, it's not what it has been said for all these years. Like it is a good thing. And you should be taking it too, by the
Yeah.
way.
It's the number one most researched supplement.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like
so-
do you want me to pull up PubMed and go through the thousands of research articles
Yeah,
on this
right,
right now?
right.
Like we can
crazy.
can go on there right now if you
Right.
want. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And the problem is too, I think there's been a lot more education on that, so a lot more people are open. I mean, one of my clients, he's a radiologist who's a little bit over 60 years old, and the dude knows that creatine's beneficial. So it's starting to make its way where it's
Yeah.
like people know about it. it's just such a slow process still.
I know there's
because-
still a lot of the
100%.
stuff that you were talking
And
about.
again,
Yeah.
you're talking about parents that are 30 years old in that scenario.
literally.
So like they
Yeah.
should hypothetically know better in
Yeah.
that scenario too.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that also, again, when you go into a Walmart or Target and whatnot, and you see these brands that are, to put it lightly, just not good quality, and they don't actually put any real testing behind it. They don't. Again, they're worried about the margins, and that's it. It's
Yeah.
it's the same thing. What happens to any corporate company that brings in, like they go into the stock market and go public, for
Yeah.
example. You
But they get bought out by
exactly.
bigger companies.
You bring in a
Yeah.
bunch of people who care about spreadsheets. They don't actually care about people.
Yeah,
While
that's very
if
true.
you're a company like you guys with Vosus, you care about the people and how they experience your product.
Mhm.
Okay, if our margins are smaller because of that, at least we're bringing a bunch of people that actually believe in our supplements and know they're good supplements.
Mhm.
And also it increases their trust in the supplement industry as a
and that
whole
spreads
too.
too.
100%.
They'll tell their friends
Absolutely.
about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like the word of mouth is like way more powerful than people say it is. Like
Yeah,
just building a community and like having people just kind of just talk about your product.
Yeah.
Over time, like that just compounds like a snowball, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And that's really helped us grow, and that's what helped us initially blow up just around school. Like people just started seeing it around desks and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and like people want to throw millions into marketing and all this sort of thing. It's just like,
Sure.
dude, throw events too. Like do community events. Like
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
you, especially if you're like a huge brand or something like that, like you have access to do like events in multiple cities, and whether it's a run club or a lifting event and stuff like that. And I see like Gymshark doing some of their lifting events and all that. So I think that's cool that they're getting out there with their community. But
Mhm.
I think also like a lot of these big brands that are in Walmart, Target, I think they should do that too if they want to,
100%.
have a better reputation.
Yeah, right.
So
Kind of put a face to the name. is what you're
exactly,
saying.
yeah, like because that's the biggest thing with some of these companies. It's like you guys just need a community and you need actually a real product.
What's
Right.
what's
So-
funny is the amount of capital. Like again, part of the benefit of our men's workouts is like they're free, not
Mhm.
only for the guys that come to it, but also for us too. We just go to a field, we bring our stuff. I mean, obviously the investment in the equipment is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
free, of course, but the point remains: you show up and you get the work done. You know what I mean? But it's like
Mhm.
funny enough, if you took these large companies and they did that type of stuff, they would absolutely increase the belief in their company, but also trust in the supplement industry once again, which then benefits the entirety of the supplement industry too,
Yeah.
and benefits everybody's health because they're going towards good products too,
Mhm.
which is what we should be doing with supplements anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and on the word of mouth too, it's just normal everyday people that are talking about your product. But if you're going to use influencers as well, it's using real influencers, not these people that are switching brand to brand every 6 months.
That's oh my gosh,
it's the
That's
people
one of my
that,
biggest pet
Yeah.
peeves.
maybe they've got 10,000 followers instead of the 1.2 million follower, but that 10,000, they have a real 10,000 people following them. They believe in what they do, and they stick with brands and things like that. Like that's someone you can trust, and that's someone that you would want to partner with because they will genuinely market your product for you. The 1.2 million person likely will not be doing that because they have every brand at their disposal wanting them to rep their brand.
I've seen so many good examples of that, like where they're with one brand, they say these are the best supplements out
Yeah.
there, and then they go to another brand because they're getting paid more. These are the best supplements
Right.
out there. So,
I've
you know,
always wondered that, like, if you're like your audience and you follow someone and you just see them switch like that, are you just like,
Yeah, how are you gonna
did bro
trust
just
that?
lie to me just for a check?
100%.
Exactly.
100% he did.
Exactly.
100%.
That's
Like,
crazy.
Bro
Yeah.
just
He
scammed me.
He
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
didn't even get that much sales if he
No.
wasn't that big
Right.
either. So it's
or
just
even
like,
clothing too, like
Yeah.
we've followed people for a long time.
YouTubers,
and-
all of it. Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
It's like, wait a second, 6 months ago you were with this brand, and I really like that brand. I like the guy that started that, but now you're with his rival, and you're saying that they're the best. It's like, what are we doing
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
It's just for the check, man. And I think it's
100%.
really cool. We have a lot of athletes. I think we have around, I think over 100 athletes and ambassadors
I
now.
would say you guys have at least that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's awesome.
a lot of our closest ones, they have decent followings. No millions or anything like that. But they've gotten bigger offers from bigger companies and for more money. But they choose to stick with us because it's just such a tight knit community,
Yeah.
and they genuinely believe in what we're doing, and they believe that we're going to grow and hopefully surpass those big companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that longer term investment instead
Exactly,
of
yeah.
the short hit investment
yeah.
that we're talking about here. 100%.
Yeah, we value loyalty a lot.
Yeah.
If you're with us from the start, and you're gonna only come up with us. So
Yeah.
Funny
Like-
enough, that's why a lot of our sponsorship conversations have been very long, and and we've been like,
Arduous.
should we even reach out to this company? Probably not. Will we actually be that type of stuff? So that's why we don't have any sponsors fully yet on the podcast for that matter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Very
yeah,
true.
Because we have we have specific brands that we want to, and we have ones that have approached us, and it's just like you don't align with what we're doing. Like, thank you, but no, like we're all good. And then there's some, it's like, okay, that was 100% an AI email that we just got. Stop the cap. You know, like stop
I
it.
get emails from, Bucked Up and I don't want to name a whole lot of names, but and it's like asking if I want to be an ambassador for the brand. I'm like, you did not look at my profile.
Right. You know nothing about me.
You didn't check a single thing.
I was gonna say that too. Like if you're an athlete and you're like with a brand like us, or let's say there's another brand out there like us, whether it's clothing or anything, and you're able to talk to the owners, you're able to go to events, you're able to, have a part in building the product, and then you leave just to go get a Bucked Up code for like 10% off. And Bucked Up is a great brand, by the way. I love Bucked Up.
They do have some products for that matter. Yeah.
Just for example, any of these brands, like why would you leave a brand that's smaller and stuff like that, and it seemed like that, for something where they're probably going to go use the 1.2 million influencers code over your code, most likely.
100%.
Yeah, you'll get your like 3 or 4, people ready to buy, followers, that will get order for you. But why? Like, they'd rather use Alex Eubanks' code or Noel Diesel or whoever the fitness influencer is. Everyone's using their codes. No one's using yours.
Exactly.
It's more than just the code. When it comes to being on the Vosus team, there's just it's such a cool community. Like I wish I had words to describe, how awesome it is, but it's just so tight knit, and it's just basically a bunch of friends, who get to talk and then just be a part of this brand.
Yeah.
So.
It's
awesome.
genuine.
It's
genuine.
The interesting thing too, hearing that about the code as well, somebody, an ambassador that works with you guys, has to also consider, and again, I'm not saying you guys are going to do this in the future, but what they could also consider is like, look, not only do I really enjoy being a part of this, absolutely, that's a piece of it. I enjoy being a part of Vosus, but also if they stick with you guys in 5 to 10 years, what if you guys start giving athletes salaries or ambassadors salaries and whatnot that comes along with it? And it's not just a code anymore, because like a lot of the big companies, like we talked about, it's just the code. There is no investment in a salary, or you're on retainer or whatever you want to call it, that type of stuff. And again, I'm not saying you guys are going to do that in the future. I'm just hypothesizing here in the way of like, okay, is there a bigger investment to be had when I'm a part of a real community compared to just a code community, and that's it?
100%.
So,
yeah, like a cool thing about our program is we're really laid back. If you want to succeed and you want to win, you will get it. And I think that's a great philosophy to just have in life, because it'd be cool to like have all these minimums and try and hit like all these performance numbers and try and get everyone to try and post this amount of times per month. But I feel like the real value and the real way to do it and to find the best people are the people who are willing to work and who actually believe in the brand. Because if you actually believe in the brand, you want to go out and you want to tell people about it. You want to support us at events, and and we always, of course, do the same. So that's another thing as well. So
So for our people that are listening here in St. Louis or Columbia, Kansas City, Illinois, you guys are obviously inside of S2.
Yeah.
So people can go in person and buy the products. It doesn't just have to be online. I know you're trying to get orders from every state right now.
We're doing a little video series.
Which is cool.
It's going well.
It is. It is. That's very cool to follow along with. But talk about the process of getting inside S2. I mean, that's pretty badass.
You got that one.
Yeah. So basically in 2024, we went to our first show ever. It was the Jack Datone runs it. Shout out Jack. But basically we went to that show. All right, bro.
Shout out Shaquille O'Neal.
He's gonna find every stutter.
I'm joking.
Would you be business partners if you didn't chirp each other?
No,
exactly.
That's another thing. Me and Eli we get like people around us are like, you guys are like a married couple. Dude.
Yes.
We argue so much, and we have so much like good negative energy.
Yes,
it's like
100%.
good negative energy.
I know exactly.
We've never had that before.
No,
right?
no.
It's the best type of energy. Because
100%.
It was primarily when you were shaving your legs, but
Did used to do that.
Yeah.
Did used to do that. Yes.
Hey, at least you're manning up to.
Hey, that's right.
Oh,
that's right.
he owned it.
100%.
You can't hate on that. Yeah, 100%.
Well, anyways, you were saying.
But we were at a show in 2024, our first one ever. It was at Union Station.
That's sick.
And it's pretty cool. They still do it every year. It's usually around like April.
Here in St. Louis.
Yeah, here in St. Louis. Yeah, at Union Station. It's pretty cool. But either way, we had our first table there, and we were just pretty nervous, just sampling out stuff for the first time. People started coming in, all that sort of thing, and it was going good. And then we started to talk to the supplement superstores guys to our left a little bit, just because we were familiar with S2 because we were just customers in the Fenton store and all that. And we would go up there, of course, to just like, hey, take a look at our labels, like look what we're making, like, or just go around and do our own research in the store. But we went and talked to them. Met some great guys over there. I remember Jesse, shout out Jesse Hawks. He was working there. Brennan Rowe was there.
Brennan. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There was a lot of people that we know that were there. And we started talking to them a bunch more, and they really found it inspiring that we were, 15, 16 years old at that time selling pre-workouts. And so basically Ian, the CEO at the time, came.
Mr. Hutch.
Yeah, Mr. Hutch.
Mr. Hutch.
The one and only.
Hell yeah. But we were basically in the middle of sampling, stuff like that. And then we see him come over, and we didn't know who it was at the time. Like, we were just, hey.
I think it was Jesse who told us.
Yeah, Jesse told us after. Yeah, like we didn't know at first.
He's such a dope dude.
Yeah, he is
awesome. He is awesome.
Yeah. By the way, we were just sampled to him kind of like another person, and then he was eyeing out our formula thing because we didn't have formula finished at the time, but we had like a PDF, not a PDF,
like a doc or like a printout of the
printout
formula.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was laminated. We just made it look nice and put it up front just for people to see, hey, we're gonna come out with this in a few months. Like, check it out. He's like, I like that. And then I could kind of start to see after talking to him and meeting him and all that, who he was, learned a little bit more about it. And he's just like, here, take my number. I'd like to have this in the store eventually.
Let's go.
And I immediately thought, I was like, yo, I'm just going to get in the store. It's going to be easy. No, I had to text him every single day, like almost every single day for a year. Yeah. And you can ask him too. He's told people that. Like, I text him every single day for a year. I've sent him photos of like me with employees, like just supporting with no answer, by the way, like just continuing to send. And it got to a point where he's just like, all right, we'll talk, blah, 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 blah. And then we also had a few employees also help us out too. They would like give him like some pre-workouts to try and samples and stuff like that. So shout out Brendan Rowe. You're the GOAT.
Seriously.
He helped us out a lot. So, but yeah, that was kind of like the main story is we really just met him at that event and he saw a formula and he's like, this is a great product. I want to have my store. And then after that, he tried the Sunny V and the, all the other ones. And how could you not add Sunny V to your store?
Oh, of course. How could you not? Yeah, of course.
So, but yeah, that was kind of the start. So
that's awesome.
Well, so then, back in, I think it was April, or it was either March or April, we get this really ominous text from him that said, be at HQ 12 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like, that's all it said. Like I was
the hell, Ian? Come on, dude.
Yeah, seriously. And we're like, all right, this is like, I think this is it. So, I was out doing power washing work because I did some side work back then. And I get that text and immediately call Braden, call Ian, our CFO. We're like, all right, we need to meet tonight because this is big. So we, leave. I left work early. He left work early. And we all come over and like, basically we created this super long PowerPoint thing. And we, we just prepared all the stuff we were going to say. We had notes ready and things like that. And then we go into HQ, S2 HQ. We're sitting in those chairs. And we met with Wes. He's another one of the higher ups there. Really cool guy.
Also a dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I guess basically the gist of it was he's like, we've heard too much about you and I've seen you guys too many places to not have you in our store, which was like, I was so tense and I was so nervous, and that kind of just gave me like
tire pump central.
A big, seriously, just a big sense of relief. And it's like, oh, that is so cool. But then we kind of just talked numbers and talk, what it would look like and our responsibilities and their responsibilities and things like that. But they're like, we want to have you in our stores before the S2 Expo, which was last year, late May. And we were low on product. Like we were used to just shipping out online orders, selling at events. We weren't ready to be in a retailer because, we were going to be in, 30, 40 plus stores in less than a month. And about the production process, I don't think I mentioned how long it takes, but like usually it's a few months, and we had less than 2 months to, we had less than 2 months to get this order placed, get it made, get it shipped to our door, and then deliver it to S2. But we made it happen, and we actually ended up having to ship the labels, and because we get them made at 2 different places, ship the labels and ship the containers to our door, and we had to, like, I think it was a few nights before this expo, we hand labeled hundreds of containers all by ourselves.
We have photos of that too. It was like an insane night.
Yeah,
we did have that nice lift at American Muscle though.
Yeah, we did.
Oakville. So
Oh, that gym is
Oakville.
sick.
Shout out to
Sick.
American Muscle because the
Yeah.
Oakville one outside. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys
Oh
know
my
you guys know
gosh.
Tony and Chuck then?
Yeah, yeah.
They're
They're-
awesome.
dude.
They're studs.
I know.
I originally I went to their when it was Complete Fitness and House Springs still. And now it's obviously American Muscle. They're still.
I love the outside part of that.
It's
It's
so sick.
such a
So
vibe.
sick.
We had some badass lifts out there.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
are you kidding me? It was
Oh, yeah.
insane out there. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. It's so actually the first note off of all of that. One, that's crazy. Two, it's crazy like thinking how different the supplement industry is compared to personal training.
Oh my gosh.
Like to set up workouts at HQ, where it's like, hey boys, like what would you think about us hosting a workout at HQ? That's
cool.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, while with product, it's like you got to walk through all these different hoops and whatnot. You guys have to jump through. And again, you guys are also doing this in your teenage years.
Yeah.
That is
Still are.
batshit crazy
Yeah.
to me. Like
Yeah.
that is insane because of the. And now, don't get me wrong. Like obviously, it's hard work.
Oh,
doing
it's
training
just stressful in different ways.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's just different. But it's so fascinating to me because it's like, okay, like we can be like, hey, Wes, we're thinking July 15th for this next workout at SUHQ. Would that work? And we're like a month out or whatever. He's like, let me check. Okay, that's good. And that's it. You know what I mean? If we want to do something like that. And it's just, I don't know. It's so fascinating to me, the differences here. And hopefully the listeners, and I know the listeners are enjoying this too, because it's just so unique amount. Again, the amount of risk you guys take at this age too. Now, also a note on that, funny enough, this is probably the best time for you guys to take the risk at this age. Because think about it. If you tried to do this when you were 35, you had wife, children, all that stuff that comes along with that, that makes that even harder than it already is. So now you already have this established. So whenever the wife and children are in play later on in life, it just makes more sense. You know?
That is seriously something I love to tell people like
Yeah.
my age or younger, where it's like, you know, you're in school, you know, you're under this, I guess, social pressure where it's like, this is your time to have fun, you know, to live life and stuff like that. And you can live life, and you can have plenty of fun, but like, this is the best time to take big risks and learn from those, you know, learn from your mistakes, but just take big risks. You know, you have nothing to lose. You have very little to lose. So
We were talking about Dom's video earlier, you know,
course,
about
yeah.
how he was literally saying that too. He's the owner of Raw Nutrition, by the way, if you don't know who Dom is.
And Bum Energy too.
And Bum
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of different
3D
I think it's
Energy.
3D too and something else.
3D
It's insane.
Cadence.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a huge portfolio. Great guy. But either way, like, yeah, that was really it. Like that video explains he was basically saying between 18, if you're like between 18 and 25, this is the time you should be taking the risk. And like they were all saying, like, yeah.
And
It is the time to take the risk
Dude,
because you have nothing
100%.
nothing to lose.
Yes.
You
A
have
lot of people-
all the time on your hands. You have summers if you're like, you know, at school. You have all that stuff. So
a lot of people start their like learning about business in a business class, either in high school or college. But like, if you can get that experience, is going to take you so much further than anything you can learn in a
100%.
class. And if you can
especially with business aspects.
Oh my
of
gosh,
this,
yeah.
100%.
dude, me and people
Yeah.
would ask, like people would ask me and Eli, like, hey, what courses you guys take? Yo, what you guys like? And we're like,
we just tried shit.
we just did it.
Right.
Courses.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We literally typed in, hey, give us a name generator. Yo, give us manufacturers. Like that's what we did.
Right.
That's what we did. We were in history classes doing it. Like there's no course. And it never really felt right to me and Eli just to like be taught by someone who didn't do it too. Cause like that's why I was like talking about Dom right there, is because he's actually done it. And that's why I listen to all of his stuff.
Of course.
Because he's done it. So
Yeah, his stuff is awesome.
That's
But
how
anyways,
we've
yeah.
operated in a lot of ways too. It's like we'll just figure it out.
Yeah,
You know, like
seriously.
100%.
we may not have a huge budget or all the time in the world, but we'll figure it out one way or another, and we'll screw it up. So we won't do it that way, and we'll try it this way, and maybe this way works.
So
like it's
so true.
that's how you learn this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't learn any of this stuff in high school or college or whatever. Like it just doesn't.
Nope.
They just
doesn't work
you
that
can't
way.
teach experience.
No,
trial
you
and error.
can't.
It's
Don't get
failing.
me wrong.
Exactly.
I had a fitness management class in college where it was like there was some useful stuff, but like the professor hadn't applied it actually. Truthfully, he had gone to like the expos and whatnot, that type of stuff, and sold equipment at those type of places too. That type of stuff. But that was about the extent of his knowledge. And don't get me wrong, like he was doing the best of what he could do, but it's still like compared to actually just going and getting kicked in the nuts, essentially, the learning comparison isn't even close. It's just nowhere near close. And that's the thing what Dom was talking about too, which is really interesting, I thought as well, was the aspect about how, especially between 18 to 30, preferably starting before 25. And he's right about that. Before 25 is the best time to start. But also the lack of competition nowadays too. Because again, when it comes to phones, technology in general, it also makes things easier in our lives now. So our lives can be very comfortable. Even if you're not a like higher income person, your life can still be overall pretty comfortable. You can still get food, all that stuff that comes along with that. So it's very easy to be complacent because of that. So if you take the jump as that 18 to 25-year-old, your competition is almost non-existent at that point in time, you know? So you're going to have to and again, I say compete relatively here. You're going to maybe have like 2 to 3 competitors or whatnot if you're really good at what you do. If you're really good at what you do, you might have 0 competitors, and depending on the actual field you're in. So it's insane.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason a lot of these 18 to 30-year-olds, like they always get like kind of steered off in the wrong direction. I feel like a lot of societal norms are really steering people in the wrong direction. And a lot of people don't notice that. It's kind of crazy. Like, like if you really think of the idea of what college is, you know, of course there's certain professions where you need it and it's very beneficial. I get that. But like also for other people, like, you know, you're paying all this money and you're getting these, you know, 4 years of experience or learning and all that sort of thing. But when I went to Mizzou, like I saw how they lived. It wasn't like, it's not like they're these like professors and all these smart kids sitting in their rooms doing homework. It's nothing like that. It's overtaken by drugs, alcohol,
100%,
partying,
100%.
like, you know, sleep until 12. Like it's ruining them. It's not like it's not good.
People love to act like college, every university you go to is you're just going to be around a bunch of Elon Musk or something like that. And it's like, that is so far. Anybody that's actually been in college in any sort of way understands that's not the case at all. Like there were some people that were just passing class because they were book smart and their habits were terrible. I mean, horrible that I knew. You know, they were engineering majors I knew, one of the hardest majors there is, and they would just dick around half the time. And it's like, okay, is this really teaching me good habits for lifestyle stuff or not?
Yeah.
And it's not
sustainable.
You know? Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
Yeah. But I think there's big uprising in like, I guess, just better examples of people. You know, there's a lot of, I guess, business content out there. There's a lot of lifestyle and health content out there and things like that. That's, I think, positively influencing, you know, younger generations and older generations. But I think, yeah, it's still a huge issue. Just, you know, people just don't take care of their bodies. They don't take care of their minds and often steered in the wrong direction. So,
well, and I think it's also becoming more apparent, especially with people more our age, so a little bit older than you guys. But actually, I think it's leaking over into your generation as well. People want more control over their time as well, which is why we see this big influx of entrepreneurship. And some of it is because entrepreneurship's been kind of glorified in a way, you know? And like, I know you guys see that just as much as we do. But there's also a lot of people that have genuine good things that they want to do, you know, whatever that might be, whether it's supplements, fitness related, or something completely separate, you know, but people want more control over their time. They don't want to be stuck in the corporate loop, you know, just clocking in 9, clocking out at 5, doing the same thing over and over and over, day after day, year after year. You know, they want control over their time, control over their money, control over their life, and they want to live how they want to live, you know, and that includes being healthier too.
Yeah.
Because while society and the world is pointing towards a lot of negativity and a lot of negative habits, I think these younger generations, ours and your guys' included, are seeing the detriment of that long term, whether it's unhealthy eating, inactivity, porn, things like that. It's becoming way more apparent. It's like, hey, that shit long term, it's going to have really, really negative effects on me. So I'm going to go this direction, you know, and this other direction that we're talking about is becoming way more popular, you know, and younger too, which is good, you know?
Yeah. That's the main idea. People are just starting to realize they're starting to see how it leads you into nothing. I feel like I've seen a lot of videos online. I feel like it motivates people, but it's just like edits of like just going in a loop or the rat race, they say. And it's like, there's these sad edits of like like cartoons of like rats getting in a subway, like all packed together every single day. And it's just like, now what, sort of thing. So it's like, I think it's really cool to have a life of pursuit. Like that's kind of my goal. I always want to be working on something. And I feel like a lot of people are like that too. I feel like there's a lot of different people out there, and maybe some people can work in an office and do a 9 to 5 because they're really structured and they want it that way.
Yeah,
But
there's nothing wrong with it. But
there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
Different people have different goals and different.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's funny is the culture's changed so much to where even those like 9 to 5 type jobs are also offering like more flexibility now. So I think a lot of that entrepreneurship push has changed that around too, to have more flexibility in your own job too.
Yeah, like working
which
from
is
home and all that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Working from home is a great example of that. Yeah. And whether or not like that's from the entrepreneurship push or whatever it is, but it's pretty apparent it's bleeding over into everything, including entrepreneurship like that as well.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty interesting.
Definitely.
So to kind of round all this out, why don't you guys talk about what's coming up with Vosus? Any new products maybe that you want to talk about? You don't have to say everything if you don't want to,
No,
but new products.
I'll spill some tea.
Yeah, or maybe events that you guys might.
Can
be
we
putting
talk
on.
about the? Well, CP is a bad way to abbreviate it, but
I think we can talk about our R&D that we've been doing
all right.
a little bit.
CP stands for clear protein.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're working on a clear protein product. This has been something that we've been developing and had just kind of in our back pockets for I think over a year. It's been developed for a while.
We were about to place an order one time and then an event would pop up, or we were about to place an order one time and something else would pop up.
And the prices of whey are ridiculous.
Oh,
we've
just
heard.
ridiculous.
We've talked to some people.
They're up
Yeah.
right now.
They're it's definitely up. But we found ways around it. We're gonna be able to offer. Well, we're not. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna do a test run. So basically, we're gonna have 50 units, just 50 units, and we're going to sell them to people. And once those 50 are out, they're out.
Gone.
And,
Yeah.
They're gonna have a really cool label as well.
Yeah.
You guys will see.
It's very scientific looking, but then there's a QR code on the back and it leads you to this form. It's basically a feedback form. So regular people and regular customers of ours get to give their input. We're not just testing it around people who are close to us, who are in the loop.
Nice.
It's just regular everyday.
on the website.
Yeah, exactly. Athletes, gym goers, anything. And it's basically going to ask about, what do you think about the flavor? What do you think about the texture? What do you think a fair price would be for this product? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? And then we take all of that data and all of that feedback and basically figure out what we have to change about it. If anything, honestly, I'm this stuff is so good.
Dude, if you guys get the mixability down, you guys are going to own the market.
Genuinely,
on that.
it's so good. It's cold processed too, which is the best way to process
Excellent.
protein. It's
100%.
cold processed.
Yep.
Excellent.
It's just great.
Yeah,
so
it mixes good and it's so refreshing. That's our main goal with supplements, of course, is taste good, simplicity, all that sort of things. And this just it hits every dot and it's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just
Flavor?
excited.
Flavor? No,
Not yet.
Okay.
You guys,
That's the fun part. That's
maybe after the show.
Tried to fish it out there a little bit on the pod. Yeah.
Yeah. Fish aren't biting on that one.
And then I'm not sure if any of you guys have seen or anyone online, but we've also are going to reformulate the formula just a little bit because alpha yohimbine, if you guys didn't know, is kind of an iffy ingredient within the industry.
It's a very love or hate ingredient.
Yeah.
I love it.
We love it. That's why we put it, and the community loves it too. But whenever it gets to putting our brand on platforms and other retailers or TikTok took it down and stuff like that just because of the yohimbine and insurance is higher for us because of the yohimbine.
Interesting.
It's a really interesting ingredient and you don't see it in a lot of pre-workouts. It's in a lot of fat burners and things like that. But basically, it's going to be a thermogenic, and it's going to block alpha-2 receptors, which basically is your body's stop on fat burning. So it's going to accelerate body fat burning. And then it also is a stimulant, and it basically releases adrenaline and noradrenaline. So it's a different form of energy than, your caffeine or your, things like that. So we also are adding a flavor of it too. So we're going to keep the Baja, reformulate it, and then add a flavor. And we can't talk about that flavor either. But
of course,
we haven't gotten samples in yet, but it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
So
there was a couple higher stim pre-workouts I know of that had the yohimbine in it too. And now, granted, these were pre-workouts that were also the ones that we were talking about, very expensive too.
yeah.
And they were one of them was 450 milligrams just of caffeine alone. And it's like, holy
Just one source of
shit.
just anhydrous.
I think it was anhydrous.
That's
only. Yeah, it was insane.
Just an anhydrous.
Now, granted, this is one of those that's like, okay, that's probably a once a monther. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For like a
That's a
PR,
PR
day.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I had this
Yeah.
pre-workout sample from Arnold 3 years ago from, I think it's like a Pollen Nutrition, but it is like, I think it has a total of 650 milligrams of caffeine from different sources. I'm never going to take it, but it's like a cool keepsake. I
Diet
have to
caffeine
say.
malate in
Whenever
there
we
too.
say like
yeah.
602 milligrams of stimulants, that's not like caffeine.
Yeah.
Like, that's,
Right.
that's
Sure, right.
stimulants.
And some stimulants are going to have different potencies. Like 2 milligrams of alpha-yohimbine is going to be really strong.
I was going to say
200 milligrams of caffeine is going to be, a middle level.
a good
So,
rate
yeah.
to be at. Yeah.
So it's split up and
because your Baja is what 300 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous, right?
and then 100
Yeah.
milligrams of extended release
There we go.
caffeine.
Okay, yeah, there
Yeah.
we go. That's what I thought if
Yeah.
I remember correctly. Because I remember I started with half a scoop on that. Even that was like, this is good shit.
Yeah, man. It'll.
Like, man, this
yeah.
is nice.
Yeah.
I'm usually against like 1 and 2 scoop servings because a lot of the companies that do that, the 1 scoop is going to be underdosed, the 2 scoops is going to be a full serving.
Yeah.
But then they'll put like 40 servings on the front, even though that's 40 servings of the 1 scoop.
Right.
That's underdosed. So,
Right.
but this pre-workout is going to be potent enough where we can do a 1 and 2 scoop serving, where the 1 scoop is still going to be properly dosed. The 2 scoop is just really strong.
Yeah.
And we're not going to put 40 servings on the front of the container. Just
Dude.
This
people to
honestly,
buy it.
we could like promote it as a 40 serving like pre-workout, like
Yeah,
normal
yeah.
level pre-workout. But that's because that's how good it's formulated.
it's
yeah.
genuinely it's gonna be awesome.
And then the
I'm
stim
super
free.
excited.
Stim free is coming too.
That's more just like in development. Like we don't even have a final formula down for that
Gotcha.
one. So,
Yeah.
but
Still
it's
figuring that
been a big like it has been our most requested
I
product.
think I asked you about it at one point.
Probably,
too.
yeah.
I'm pretty
We
sure
both
we did.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
Okay,
so
that's what it
weird
was,
too
yeah.
because like just 2 years ago, no one even like
Yeah.
most people didn't even know what a non-stim pre-workout was.
Right.
Of course.
They thought of pre-workout for the caffeine, but then I think it's a really good thing that people are getting more educated on their supplements where they're realizing, oh, hey, it's not just caffeine in this. It's got pump ingredients, it's got endurance ingredients and things like that.
This should not be my pre-workout.
No, exactly.
You know,
And-
like-
I
yeah.
saw you boys say that too. That was
Yeah.
good stuff.
And a lot of these kids are like just working out after work or school
Yeah.
or anything like that, and like you don't want to take all that caffeine at night
Sure.
too.
No.
So, dude, I'll see like some of our people they'll like send into we have like group chats and communities, and they're like, just took 2 scoops of formula at
crazy.
at 8, and I'm just like, bro, are you insane?
8 at night?
8 at night, yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, and I'm just like, no wonder
2
you guys,
scoops of formula in general is like,
Yeah,
what are you
insane,
doing?
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I've seen people mix stuff, and it's just like we don't recommend any of that. But you got it's just crazy to see like how high tolerances can get.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I literally had a client who she was like drinking. She had a Celsius like 9 o'clock at night. I was like, whoa. She told me, I was like, nope, that one's going out of the routine. Like we're not doing that anymore. Like that's
Yeah.
not happening. But
Sleep's a big part of our recovery.
dude, 100%.
Absolutely.
You guys know that more
Dude,
than
it's,
yeah.
it's cool too. Like hearing all this, like in general as well, where again, this speaks to the Gen Z piece. Cause again, as funny as it is, we are in Gen Z, of course, even though we talk about us being older and whatnot, but the piece of it for you guys too, is like, since you guys are 19 years old, you have such an advantage because you see how these other supplement companies have done things either immorally, incorrectly, whatever that looks like. And then you guys can then learn from that and then deliver a product that's way better than theirs too. So that also gives you a leg up in the future as well. By the time you're 35 and Vosus is massive at that point in time, you know? So it's just sick. It's awesome.
You should tell them about Brett screenshot. Remember that?
Oh yeah. So back at one of the Arnold Classics, we met all of the Rise guys. Like, Brett Westover is like their main I guess production guy.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Really cool guy. I met Nick, who's the CEO, Noel, who's like one of the owners.
Huge
Yeah,
athlete.
Noel,
massive.
He's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice. He's awesome
Yeah.
guy.
And I love all those guys. But as it's so, they used to have a Baja flavor, and I had never tried their actual pre. I tried the energy drink; it's pretty solid. And somebody I did like an ask me any question on my Instagram story, and someone didn't. It wasn't a question; they just said Vosus Baja is way better than Rise, and I said, what'd I say? I said something like, it's like I hear this a lot, and I reposted it. And Brett viewed my story and he screenshotted it and then like posted on his stories like, should we bring back the Baja? Like,
Formula or something. Yeah.
yeah. And I've been seeing them
like friendly beef almost.
Yeah,
yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
not like you guys hate
guys.
each other. It's just
Not
like
at
that's
all,
friendly
no.
competition.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's just cool to even
100%.
see him like notice it and be like, hey,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
like,
it's like we're in this industry. You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
People,
That's
people
awesome.
fuck with it. It's
Yeah,
just cool to see.
Nick. I've also like asked plenty of questions to Nick, their CEO, and he's very helpful with things too. So
Dude, that's awesome.
yeah, there's a lot of like hostility between brands, but then there's a lot of like there's plenty of business to go around.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
Bro, it's the same thing with trainers. Like I hate when like trainers have beef with each other because I'm like, dude, every client is going to react differently to some trainers. Like I might get along well with this client, Orts might get along really well with this client, and they do get better results with him compared to me. And it's same thing with pre-workout. It's like, look, there's plenty of business to go around. There's plenty of people in the sub industry that you can have for business. So it's like, if they like Vosus better than this company, no big deal because they might like this company better than Vosus. You know, and it's just like this weird beef that like sometimes occurs. That would definitely, I mean, if we go on pet peeves, that is like definitely one of my things where it's like there's no reason to be beefing for no good reason.
Exactly.
At all.
Yeah. It's only gonna hurt the community. It's not
100%.
Well, and when that type of stuff occurs, you're making it about yourself instead of making it about the people that we are all collectively trying to help.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
You're losing sight of the actual mission here. It's like, no, my way of training is better than your way. Well, guess what? Like he just said, maybe this person gets better results with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That person's getting healthier. They're changing their life. Isn't that what matters?
Yeah. You should be happy for him instead
exactly.
of, getting mad at the other trainer.
Yeah.
So,
So 100%.
very true.
So let's see. Shout yourselves out with socials and that type of stuff. And then we'll kind of close this out. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you guys again. My name is Braden Brown. My Instagram is Braden A. Brown, and of course, at Vosus Nutrition on any platform.
Braden with the Y. And mine is Eli Sommermeyer, SOMMERMEYER on Insta. And yeah. And then Vosus Nutrition on Insta. I think you just said that.
Oh yeah, boys.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we
Dude,
appreciate
seriously,
you guys
this
being
is-
here with us.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is
dude,
great.
this is awesome,
This
boys.
was
Yeah.
awesome. And had you guys ever done a podcast before?
Nope. This is our first.
You couldn't
the
tell.
first one.
Couldn't
Yeah.
tell.
I was
Couldn't
gonna
tell. You
say,
guys are great.
genuinely, you could not tell. It was
Really?
your first podcast,
Yeah.
100%.
No, you guys killed
You guys
it,
were
so-
buzzing, 100%.
Let's go.
Guys, support these guys again here. If you're local to St. Louis or you're in Springfield, Kansas City, you're over in Illinois, you can go into S2, get these
Columbia.
guys products. Columbia,
Oklahoma.
thank you.
Yep.
Oklahoma.
Indiana
that's
soon.
Right. Yes.
J-Shat.
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
That's
Yep.
right. You can get these guys products in person, in store, and then online. What's
Yeah.
the website?
VosusNutrition.com.
There you go.
Yep.
So, guys, support these two. These guys are killing it. They're doing a good thing. They are genuinely excited and passionate about what they are doing. So, support them in any way you can. If you have any questions about it, you can also reach out to us, of course, and we'll point you in the right directions. As always, please share the show. Share it to Instagram stories. Share it with your friends, your family, that good stuff. It's free. It's easy. And it literally helps us so much to continue to get on great guests like these two fine gentlemen here. Any questions regarding Untapped Training, please reach out to us. We are more than willing and able to help you get the results that you want. Am I forgetting anything?
Be Q&A questions, if anything, but I mean, that would probably be it.
Yep.
I think.
Submit the Q&A questions.
Standard setter as well, coming up.
Yes, July
With S2.
25th.
Yep.
July 25th. I don't think we have a time yet, but that will be at S2HQ for the July Standard Setter with the S2 boys, with us as well. We will be helping run that. It's going to suck, but it's going to be awesome.
yeah, it's going to suck. Yeah.
So details, more.
Richard Dorao is going to falsify his time.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
You know he's going to see this too.
Oh, 100%. That's my plan.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. More concrete details about that will be out soon. We'll post a graphic here once we have those. So, guys, until next time, peace and love.
Thank
Peace.
you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.